Okay, children, it's Grandma Carla, and we are starting Chapter 21, the very last chapter of Abby Lost at Sea. The nice thing is, there are a lot more Abby books, and we will start the next book very shortly. So I'm not really leaving Abby, we're just finishing this book. Abby Lost at Sea. Abby rose early when the first hint of dawn appeared. She dressed in her blue cotton button-down and woke Luke, who lay snoring in the front room. "Come on, you old bullfrog," Abby whispered. He sat up and rubbed his eyes. "Me? You should have heard yourself when we rode up here on Sugar. I'm surprised your parents didn't hear you coming. Guess they figured it was an approaching thunderstorm." Abby slugged him playfully on the shoulder. "Come on, we can argue outdoors." He jumped up, already clothed since he'd slept in his pants and shirt, and followed her out the door. She went on by the corral and headed into the woods, passing fragrant plumera trees, red hibiscus, and yellow ginger that were just beginning to gain their color in the dawning light. When she found the cliff overlooking a sleeping valley, Abby stopped and sat down, dangling her legs over the edge. "Well, here's the news. There's this new law called the Great Mahel. I guess it's a good thing in the long run because the islanders will get to buy their land from the king. But the bad thing is, my uncle has to purchase his land now, too, even though it was given to him by the king a few years ago. In the past, a new king could take away his land, but once it's bought and registered, it will be his for life." Luke glanced at her in the honey light of the sunrise. "What's so bad about that?" She turned to him. "He doesn't have any money, and neither do my parents. That means he'll lose his land if someone else comes in to buy it." "Oh, no." "Exactly. We just got here, and I don't want to go back to California. Not now. I love Hawaii." She spoke with so much enthusiasm that Luke chuckled. "I have to agree. It's pretty special. But I don't know what we can do." Abby reached into her dress pocket, brought out a folded brown paper. "What's that?" Luke asked. "It's some tapa Alani gave me. I made another copy of the treasure map, just in case we ever needed it." She looked like a cat with the family's pet canary sticking out of its mouth. Luke threw back his head and gave a big belly laugh. "I guess your drawings do come in handy," he said, shaking his head with wonder. "Abby, was that little scene with you dropping the original map in the ocean all planned?" She smiled up at him. "I didn't want Jackal to know we had his map. It seemed a good way to settle that issue." Admiration lit Luke's eyes. "You used to worry about keeping up because of your legs, but I'm getting a mighty strange feeling that you've been setting the pace for all of us." "Thanks, Luke." Her voice was happy but humble. "I guess you don't have to have the quickest legs in town if you just use the mind that God gave you." Luke sobered then. "That's right. But what are you planning to do with that copy of the map?" "I thought we might study it a bit this morning, get a good night's sleep, and start out tomorrow on a treasure hunt. My parents really need that gold." And then she added, as if to convince him, "We've got to return Sugar anyway." "True. But don't you think we ought to do one more thing before we jump from the frying pan griddle directly into the fire again?" "What's that?" Luke's eyes grazed the waking valley. A single bird trilled a greeting to the early morning. "I thought it might just be a good idea to pray about it first." Oh, don't you know that those words are so sweet for Abby to hear? Because Luke has not believed in the Lord for very long, has he? Surprise filled Abby. "Why, Luke, you're developing into a civilized creature after all. Now, if only the Almighty can do something about your snoring." As they rose and headed back toward home, and the rising scent of coffee and bacon, Luke's indignant voice carried over the quiet land. My snoring! Let me tell you, Abby, you could rival 1,000 frogs who were courting their ladies. Abby lifted her chin and sniffed. Ha! That seems a small price to pay for a partner with a map. Then gathering her skirts, she raced toward the cabin, yelling, "Beat ya!" Luke jumped up to follow, but as usual, he let her win. And that is the end of Abby Lost at Sea. And here is the treasure map. Or maybe that's just the Hawaiian Islands. And let's see if they have any kind of picture of the map. I don't see a picture of the map, but they do have a little intro to the next book. Abby, Quest for Treasure. Will Abby and Luke find gold or more than they bargained for? And who is that sinister man tailing them? This is Grandma Carla. We will start the adventures of Abby's Quest for Treasure next time. I love you.